Welcome back to Epic Gen Table Talk, your one-stop shop for everything teen-tastic. Get ready to power up because today we are going to be exploring the epic world of job hunting. Whether it be searching for your dream summer job, thinking about volunteering, or even just wanting to make a little extra cash, today's episode is just for you! So because today's topic is super fun and super hot in the teen community today, I brought on a little friend from my school to join us on our conversation on job searching. Say hello to my friend Karina.
Ooh, thanks for having me, Glorianne.
We're happy to have you here.
Well, I'm really excited to be here.
Oh yeah. So let me start us off with our first question. Has anyone started their summer job hunt? And have you found anything exciting?
It's in the progress.
It's in the progress?
It's in the progress. We did some interviews, and now we're waiting. Yeah. And there's also like other gigs, because like I'm a musician, so it's the odd summer gig that I get hired and booked for here and there, but it's really kind of all over the place.
If you don't mind me asking, what did you interview for?
Like a musicians cooperative. So
what does that mean?
It's like it's this group organization, and they help like a lot of musicians like get into the music industry, and they allow them to I'm not gonna say busk, but I don't know what other word to use. Busk, like around town in different places across Ontario and across Canada, and they pay you for it. So
that sounds really cool. I would love to do that, but I can't play any instruments.
I should go too, you know?
You should.
Well, right now, I'm not really old enough for any jobs, but I do have one coming up in the summer as a party princess and a party like pop star. I know I am going to do volunteer work too. I'm going to sing at a church this summer, I'm pretty sure, because I know the choir doesn't run in the summer. In the future, I would really love to be an actor or singer, anything to do with that industry. No matter if it's acting or singing, I don't care. Music producer, director, anything to do with acting or singing, I don't care.
That sounds so fun. You know, I haven't done that many gigs lately, but I've been focusing a lot of my time into volunteer work. I volunteer at the library, and I get to work with the cutest little kitties, and they're really fun to work with, and they have taught me how to be more patient and how to be more empathetic, and I think that's a really crucial skill to find in the job industry today. So how about you, Karina?
Well, actually, I've been working in a fast food restaurant for the past 2 years. It has its crazy days and also its really calm days. And so far, I've been liking it, actually. It's very easy on my time, and I'm able to manage my studies and my work at the same time. So I'm liking it.
So what would you say is the most challenging or the most helpful part of your job?
Oh, you know, the thing that really drove me nuts was actually looking for the job in the first place, because it took me a long time to actually get this job, because it was a process where I had to submit my resume, and it was just playing the waiting game for quite some time. It could be as little as 2 weeks or as much as months. Eventually, after a few months, I was called in, and they asked for an interview, and eventually I got the job.
Wow, that sounds really fun. What do you do at your fast food job?
Oh, it's a pretty fast-paced environment. There's a lot of different things to do. I'm either cleaning or making food. I also have to adhere to the health standards so that nobody gets sick from eating the food. And I have to make sure that everything is up to par quality.
So, anyone else?
And again, I haven't really gone for any jobs, but I know the interview is kind of a little scary because I don't want to mess anything up. So that can kind of ruin your chance. Mm-hmm. And I know something helpful is that they're starting to hire younger people. I know the youngest one I've seen so far is 14, which means kind of can be helpful for me.
Let's go, Tristan. Let's go get your job. No, for me as well, it would be the interviews. I don't know. Interviews are just they're so nerve-wracking because you're sitting there, like, I will walk in. What do I mean walk in? Every interview I've done has been online, so it's kind of, I can't imagine an in-person interview, but I would imagine I walk in with confidence as soon as they ask you a question. I'm like, oh. That's how I feel about interviews. So, yeah. And like the music industry is like, it's different in a way because I find, I'm aware and I've learned in like my careers class that interviews are normally like, they want you to be more professional, but in the music industry, there's sometimes where they want you to show your quirks. So it's a little different. So it's
Both are scary though.
Yeah, it's stressful no matter which way you put it.
What would be your like worst nightmare to have as an interview question? What is the interview question that you're most scared of answering?
Take a minute to think about that.
I'll go first. Something I'm really scared of to answer is like, what's your biggest weakness? Because how do I say that? Like, because how do I answer that in like a polite way to say like, I'm short. Like, I'm like, sometimes like, I don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes like, I can't straight up say like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't tell that to the job interviewer.
Like, what's your experience too? How are you supposed to answer that if you don't really have experience?
That's true.
How are you supposed to get a job with that experience? They always say you need experience, but how are you supposed to get the experience if you don't have a job? And how are you supposed to get a job?
Any other questions? Like, I bet you there are so many things that the viewers want to hear as well.
I mean, for me, like the most nerve-wracking question like that I get sometimes is like, it's more so like the oh my gosh, my words, guys, but the specific questions about like previous experience. But it's like, I have the experience, it's just like, what do I pick from? And what's the one that they would want to hear the most?
Mm-hmm. Really quickly, Karina, do you have anything to say?
Well, I would say that a really hard interview question would be maybe if someone decided to ask me, why do you want to work here? What am I supposed to say to that? Do I just say, oh, I want to work here because I want to work here?
Because you want to make money too.
You want to make money?
I don't want to make it seem like I'm just in for the money.
Exactly. Well, those are all valid opinions, and I bet you there are some people in the audience right now nodding their heads too. But don't stress out, because right after this break, we actually have a career expert who will help us answer all of those questions. So grab your papers and your pencils and get to writing. See you soon.
Alright, time to whip out those notepads, guys, because we've got an amazing guest here in studio today. She's a certified career and life transformation coach who is a pro at helping people find their dream jobs. She is also recognized as one of the top 15 coaches in Toronto by Influence Digest in 2023 and 2024. Everyone, give a warm round of applause for Miss Kadine Cooper, also known as Coach K.
Thank you all so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
We're so excited for you to be here with us, and because, you know, we need your help because it's that time of season where teens are trying to look for summer jobs. So do you have like any advice or hacks to kickstart that job search?
Absolutely. The first thing that I would say is get your resume. Like, your job search strategy has to start with your toolkit, which consists of your resume, your cover letter, and then networking as a component of that.
So many teens today have just started their resume and cover letter. What are the must-haves to have on a resume? And do we really need to bother with the cover letter?
Yeah, you see, the jury's still out on this whole cover letter thing. Do it, don't do it. In my opinion, anytime you have an opportunity to share more about you, your skill sets, and your expertise, take it. So I always err on the caution of doing it versus not doing it. In terms of what you need on your resume, all your experience, anything that you've done from the time that you started, even things that you think are irrelevant, babysitting, because those are transferable skills that an employer can look to: responsibility, teamwork, collaboration, right? All of those kind of build on skills that are necessary for the current job market.
Now, Coach K, a lot of teens are interested in making some extra side cash. Can you share some creative ways to make money other than the retail jobs?
Yes. So, have you heard of the gig economy?
No.
No. Okay. So, think about things that you're naturally gifted at or naturally good at. Those are kind of side hustles or gigs. So, I have a sister, she's really good at handwriting. So, she sometimes writes invitations for people that are getting married. I have another friend who loves dogs. So, she started her pet grooming business, dog walking business. I have some young adults that are males that they're pretty handy. So they go around and they paint people's homes or they mow lawns. So anything that you can kind of do outside of the normal or regular is considered kind of like a side hustle or a gig that you can also add on your resume as well. There's also personal and professional development courses that you can take that you can also get paid for as well. So there's so many things, reviewing documents, data entry, all of those things you can do as side hustles.
So we hear that networking is a very important thing to do for job hunting. Any tips on how us teens can start building connections?
Yeah, absolutely. So the more seasoned professionals tend to lean on LinkedIn, which is a professional platform. But for you young ladies, what I would suggest that you do is start with your low-hanging fruits. Who do you know right now? Family members, friends that you can connect with, and start sharing and exploring. What are your interests? What would you like to get into? And start having what I call informational or exploratory conversations, because you just never know what those conversations could lead to.
All right, so yes, I remember asking a question earlier about the importance of networking, but I find that another important thing about getting a job is having a good reference. What do you think is a good way to get a good reference?
Oh, that's a great question. I think one of the best ways is asking someone that really knows you well. Someone that can be a credible reference to you based on your current experience and your skill sets. So that could be, maybe it's a coach for a team that you were on. Maybe it's one of your teachers, an educator, or past employer if you had an employer before in the past. Those are kind of some of the low-hanging fruits that I would say best people to ask for as references.
Now, Coach K, earlier you mentioned something about cover letters, and I'm not actually sure what that is. Do you mind quickly explaining?
Absolutely. So a cover letter is something that accompanies your resume, and it's something that, based on your research, what you know about this organization, that's what they want to know. So I usually break it up into 3 paragraphs. So the first paragraph is you telling the employer, Mr. Employer, this is what I know about you, your mission, your values, which is why I want to work with you. The second paragraph is you kind of elaborating on your skills that would be beneficial or benefit to the employer. And the third one is you kind of just closing it up and summarizing it and saying thanking them for actually taking the time to review your resume. So it's kind of like a soft intro to your skill sets and your experience before they actually get to the meat and potatoes of your resume. So I also heard you ladies talking about interviewing.
Yes.
Curious questions, the do's, the don'ts, I'm happy to share. Are there any specific questions on interviewing, or do you want me to just share?
I think we'd like it if you shared.
Okay. So one of the things that, in my experience, when I was doing rapid fire interviews, that I would say is when candidates would come in and they were not prepared. So sometimes they'd forget even what they were coming in for, the interview. They wouldn't have eye contact with me, so they would be looking head down at their feet. And you could just tell that they were super nervous. One of the tips that I'll share with you is something that I tell all my clients is that an interview is a conversation, so treat it as such. They're a human being, you're a human being. And it's a two-way street that you play. You're the interviewee, but you're also the interviewer. Because you should be looking at them and asking them questions about their company, their culture, their management style, opportunities for growth. So it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street, right? So having a conversation with someone, I think that also helps to ease the nerves as well.
So speaking of interviews, what are the worst or best interviews or resumes that you've seen?
So the best resume that I've seen is one that was cosmetic friendly. So one that I opened up the email or looked at it and I was just like, wow, this is fantastic. It checks all the boxes, right? They covered everything. They've got all the key action and buzzwords on their resume that are relevant to the industry or the job they're applying to. Some of the worst, people forget to put their contact information. So I'm like, how am I going to find you? Or they just have email addresses that are not as professional. So something to keep in mind as well when you're putting yourself out there in the job market is to don't forget your contact information, and also to be mindful of the email address that you're using.
Yeah. Now, jobs can be very stressful to try and get for teens, most especially the interview part. But just wait, because after the break, we'll be back with Coach K for some more do's and don'ts and a deeper dive into those interviews.
Welcome back to Epic Gen Table Talk. We know you're eager to get some interview tips from Coach K, so let's get right to it.
Awesome. Well, I have some amazing tips to share with you, some do's and some don'ts, but I think we'll make it more interesting and more fun by doing some role play. So let's do the first role play of what maybe not to do during an interview. Hello.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tia.
Hi, Tia.
Yeah, here for the...
Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah, nice to meet you.
So you're here for an interview as one of our customer service representatives. What can you tell me about your customer service experience?
Like, I've never really worked with customers before, but like one time my friend, like, she asked me to pick like this outfit for her party, right? And yeah, I picked out this pretty lit outfit. She thought it was kind of dope. So yeah, that's technically kind of like a 5-star review almost, so.
Okay. What about working in a fast-paced environment? Any experience there?
Well, like, I've never really, like, had a job, so no job experience for a fast-paced environment, but I guess I'd, like, you know, try my best to, like, keep up with the pace and be speedy, kind of like Sonic. Like, my brother watches that, so.
Oh, your brother watches Sonic. Okay, awesome. Do you think you would be a good fit for our store? Like, what makes you think that you would be an ideal or suitable employee?
Cause like I like clothes and stuff, so, and I do need money, so I feel like because I really need the money, I would also work really hard because I need the money. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We'll definitely be in touch. We'll let you know about next steps.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ciao.
Well, Coach K, you don't look very impressed. What just happened there?
That was a really rough interview. The attire didn't look professional. Her hair, she didn't seem very well groomed or prepared. Even the responses to some of the questions didn't seem very well articulated. So I didn't feel confident that she would be doing well in a role such as a customer-facing role. So it was a rough interview. As you can tell, there was a couple things from the posture to, which is like a demeanor that no interviewer wants to see. The slang, the dope, like she was talking to one of her friends or her besties, and just the overall appearance. It didn't really seem like she was engaged in the opportunity. It was more about making money.
Okay, I got it. So how about we demonstrate what a good interview would look like now?
Let's do it. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Gloria.
Oh, nice to meet you too. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to work at your company this summer.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited to have you here and just to learn a little bit more about you. So, as you know, this is a customer service type of role. So, can you tell me a little bit about your customer service experience?
Absolutely. So at my uncle's store, there was a customer who came in and couldn't find at all what they were looking for. I went out of my way to help them find the perfect outfit, and they left completely satisfied.
That is amazing. I love to hear that. Tell me now, how do you manage about working in like a fast-paced environment?
Oh, I'm really good at staying calm under pressure. I'm involved with a lot of extracurricular activities at my school, so I've learned how to balance my time efficiently and do things really quickly.
That's awesome. So tell me, why would you think that you're a good fit for our store?
I'm super friendly and outgoing, and I love fashion, so I think I would fit right in with your team.
Amazing.
Plus, I'm a really fast learner, and I would go above and beyond to help a customer.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Lauren. We'll definitely be in touch with you and let you know about possible next steps.
Aw, thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're very
Can't wait to
welcome.
hear back from you.
Awesome.
So Coach K, how was that second interview?
Awesome. It was exactly what I was hoping I would see in any good interview. Confident, firm handshake, eye contact. Overall, I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Do you have any other additional tips for us, like how we should prepare for an interview or any other interview etiquette?
So you definitely want to make sure that you do your research. Any interview that you're going into, an employer wants to know that you've done the research about the organization. The other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're dressing appropriately for the job, that you're being comfortable and confident and able to articulate your skill sets and your abilities. Even if you don't have a ton of experience, you definitely want to make sure that you are comfortable articulating the skill sets that you do have.
Thanks, Coach K, for those great tips. And Tia and Glorianne, that was amazing acting. Thank you for the demo.
Coach K, you are truly a coaching champ, and thank you for your absolutely awesome insights today. And I'm sure our viewers and us here learned a lot from you today.
Truly been a pleasure. Feel free to keep in touch and follow me for any amazing tips or questions that you might have on LinkedIn or on Instagram.
Reminder, viewers, whether you're diving into your first job hunt or you want to level up your interview games, Coach K's tips are sure to be your secret weapons. Tune in next time on Epic Gen Table Talk for more awesome topics. Until next time, stay epic and keep on chasing your dreams. Bye!